Jimmy Shane.
The 2013 Lamb-Weston Columbia Cup Final.
Ford pit reporters Brad Luce, Jeff Bojela. What do you think?
All right.
The 95 Gold Cup champion, Spirit of Qatar, Kip Brown.
All right, I'm going to say Steve David, who has had trouble with penalties last year and this year.
The one defending national champion, Steve David. Oh boy, Oberto, Miss Madison.
Let's check in with Tony Ott, Farmers Exchange, turn number 2.
I think it will be Steve David.
Steve David and the old boy Oberto, and Rob in Avalon.
The 5, Graham Trucking, Jimmy Shane, the defending Columbia Cup champion.
And the old boy Oberto and Jimmy Shane and the Graham Trucking. And Jimmy Shane's boat has just been so impressive this weekend. I mean, Steve David's got the experience, but I like Jimmy Shane in this.
All right. So the question is...
The Rocket Man, the 9,
well, you know,
Fox Plumbing,
Steve David.
Les Schwab Tires,
I think Kip Brown is a potential
with Jon Zimmerman.
In the 95 Spirit of Qatar. And I think Jon Zimmerman, again, we've talked about this before, also the potential in the 9 Fox Plumbing presents Team Red Dot powered by Les Schwab. I'm going to take Jon Zimmerman.
The 11, Peters and May,
and
Tom Thompson.
Have, some issues with both Jimmy Shane and Steve David.
All right.
Wow, and you know, that's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
That's a good pick. John hasn't showed his hand here. I'll tell
the 21, Albert Lee, Snoqualmie Casino, Leslie Nielsen. In the cockpit, Jamie Nielsen in the cockpit will be the trailer.
And then cuts the engine. Now, what he has to do, he just can't get over there in front of Tony at the 1 minute mark and be right on that buoy.
57, Mark Evans in the Fedco out of Chelan, Washington.
He's just going to have to get to that buoy with some speed, but with 3 minutes and 55 seconds to our start, a lot can happen between now and then, and we expect it will.
Well, you got all 7 boats out on the water right now. This is going to be an interesting race for the 2013 running of the Columbia Cup.
Hey, quick note, guys, it is Jamie Nielsen in the 21. He'll be in the trailer, but it is Jamie Nielsen.
So Jamie Nielsen in the 21 instead of Brian Perkins.
Correct.
Thank you for the update.
And Brad, maybe you can talk about this. This is a 5-lap race for the final as opposed to the 3 laps we've had with all the heats. How does that change the strategy?
Well, I don't know that it changes the strategy a whole lot because your strategy is going to be the same. You got to get to the line on time, regardless if we're running 3 or 5. But what it is going to do is it's going to change the water conditions because it is really going to get lumpy down here in front of Tony and I in turn 1. You're going to have to make sure your boat is set up for it. Now, is that Jimmy Shane that has decided he likes following Kipper there?
You know, we need an air traffic controller on the tarmac here to set these planes up for takeoff because that's exactly what we're seeing. Kip Brown, Spirit of Qatar, 95 is ahead of Jimmy Shane.
45 at the start.
Is Jimmy Shane right behind him from your angle, Brad?
Yeah, he's behind him, and he was moving to the left, and now he was pulling back to the right. So we're just doing a couple of S-curve down there, you know, just making sure the steering works like an Indy 500, getting the tires hot. Now it looks like he's bending it back a little bit to the left. Now he's starting to power up a little bit.
He's going to cut across the infield, maybe?
I don't think so. I think he's committed to this now.
Was he drafting?
I like that.
Brian Newman, by the way, the winner of the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the Mariners picked up a victory today, Rob.
Good. Yeah, they won 6-4 over the Twins. Now, I'm not happy about that.
You know, there's nothing saying Jimmy Shane couldn't just goose it a little bit here, go around Kipper. And just
One to the one.
For Mark Evans, cutting into the infield around the buoy course marker, and he'll cut around to the backstretch. And again, Jimmy Shane is going to take lane number 2 apparently now, and
who's the lead boat coming down the front straightaway right now? Forget our 2 trollers.
Well, you've got the 11 Peters and May, and you've got the 57 cutting across the infield now to get behind the Alberto.
I'm looking for Peter.
30 seconds to
looking
score
for Zimmerman. Where is he?
Zimmerman is just across the start-finish line and a little bit behind Steve David, outside of Steve David.
Then I look for Steve to come down here, see if he, with 22 seconds, see if he doesn't come down here. Now he moves to the right. He's going to plan into lane 3.
So Steve David's going to try lane number 3, or maybe try that leapfrog move out on the other side.
Boy, they're going to get, they're 12 seconds.
10,
oh boy.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Steve David backing off a little bit.
1.
And it's
Mark.
awfully close. Kip Brown is over the line. He's in lane number 1. And on the outside in 4 goes Zimmerman, and he's got a bunch of speed heading down that way.
And they are
95 was over. 95 was over.
Kip Brown is going to get a penalty, and he will have lane number 1 at least for now. But Steve David is going to try to zoom out in front of him maybe and claim lane number 1 and then come to almost a complete stop at the top end of the course. Is that what we're seeing, Rob?
And he has done just that, Michael. Jimmy Shane is sitting in front of the Qatar right now in lane 2 with Jon Zimmerman.
But he's
right
way early.
Yeah, he was way early.
He wanted lane number 1.
Factor. He got it, but Steve David looks like he's going to take over 1.
So Steve David's going to be in lane number 1, and I'm going to change my pick now to Steve David. So Steve David is 10 seconds. 10 seconds. On the outside, finish line with both speed is going to be Mark Evans in the 57. And it is a clean start for the Columbia Cup final. Mark Evans is going to lead. Look at Zimmerman inside in lane number 3.
It's Zimmerman coming down here in lane number 3. Steve David didn't have a lot of boat speed as they came to the line, but he's got a lot of it right now, and he's going to get down here first. Going to be tough to beat Steve David right now when he's in lane 1. Tony! And it is very lumpy down here, and this is just lap number 1. Steve David to the exit pin first, and he's followed closely behind, just a half a rooster tail behind by Jimmy Shea.
Steve David, the leader, coming up the back stretch in the Oh Boy Oberto, leapfrogging Kip Brown in the Spirit of Qatar on the start maneuver after Kip came across the score up buoy early. Now to Rob Francis, Avalon Health Rehab Center to turn number 3, rather.
Steve David with about a boat and a half, 2 boat length on Jimmy Shane right now, who's hit a little bit of trouble in the water. He's rocking back and forth a little bit, but keeping nice control of the boat. But Steve David has the lead out of the exit pin.
Steve David leading the way across the front stretch to the Northwest Resort Casino start finish line. But look, Jimmy Shane on the outside. And Jimmy pull up on him on the front stretch. He's gaining ground.
2 of them across start finish line. Steve David in lane number 1. Jimmy Shane going to have a tall order here trying to run down Steve David on the outside, but he's going to give it a go. He's going to get down here about 5, maybe 6 boat lengths behind the old boy Alberto. Coming to you, Tony! And he's sliding out hard out the outside. It's coming. Steve David, he's got, and he got a little bit of air right there. But Jimmy Shane is not letting off. This is a 2-boat race right now. Jon Zimmerman in 3rd.
Jimmy Shane inside the rooster tail of Steve David now coming up the back stretch. About a half a rooster tail trailing right now. Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto leading the charge into turn number 3.
Yeah, Steve David's lead a little bit larger than it was the last time up here on Jimmy Shane, but you're right, it is a 2-boat race right now as both take the turn very nicely, very tightly. Jon Zimmerman a distant 3rd. Mark Evans coming up on Zimmerman in 4th.
And charged by Mark Evans in that Redfield Tire Factory boat, trying to overtake Zimmerman, and almost does at the top end of the course. Jimmy Shane is trying to gain ground on Steve David again, and this is a 5-lap final. Now that battle for 3rd place, Zimmerman across the start-finish line now, and there's Mark Evans.
It's Steve David down here. I've still got 6 boat lengths on him. Tony, coming to you. The race down here in 3rd. Still Zimmerman, and I can't believe Kip Brown is keeping his foot in it. He must know there's a penalty. Kip Brown is really putting it on, and he knows that he's got something going on, but he's really hugging it tight to the inside. What a turn! What a turn by Kip Brown, and he's got a hold on Jim Zimmerman is going down the back stretch in lane number 3.
Jimmy Shane cannot gain ground right now on Steve David into turn number 3.
Well, and Jimmy Shane can't gain ground on Steve David either right now as they both head into turn 3. And it's pretty much what we saw the last lap, about the same distance. Spirit of Qatar with Kip Brown in 3rd place. Jon Zimmerman in 4th approaching the entrance pin, and Mark Evans now in 5th.
And the front stretch getting a little bit rough and up in the air. Steve David and the old boy Alberto flying that machine back down a little bit. Jimmy Shane trying to catch up down the front stretch.
Oh, I tell you what, Steve David's hanging the right spots down here. We got 3 up, 3 down, 2 to go. Lap number 4. Jimmy Shane still hanging tight with Steve David. Tony, here comes Steve David and the sausage boat, the Alberto. As he gets out of the exit pit, he's a full rooster tail length ahead.
Oh, a great turn that time in turn number 1 and 2 for Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto. Jimmy Shane falling back a little bit, trying to gain up the backstretch. Then you've got Jon Zimmerman in the 9. That is Fox Plumbing presents Team Red Dot in 3rd place, holding on to 3rd place right now.
Well, and Steve David's got it clean into the entrance pin in turn 3 with Jimmy Shane behind. And if Jimmy Shane's going to do anything, he's going to have to think about making his move soon because he's not gained anything in this turn.
Michael, check the flags on these first 3 votes.
And the white flag is out.
That's 1 to go.
1 to go for Steve David and the old boy Oberto. And Jimmy Shane is pressing it hard down the front stretch, but I don't see him catching Steve David.
Check the flag when Kip comes across. Steve David is down here at the entrance pin to the buoy. Got a full rooster tail on Jimmy Shane. Jimmy still got ideas of running him down, but if he's got an ace up his sleeve, he better play it now, Tony. Oh, and Steve David bounces hard. He's whipping those ponies. He's heading down the backstretch. Take it, Michael.
Steve David and the old boy Oberto is flying down off of the rough water, coming up the backstretch, still leading by just about a rooster tail over Jimmy Shane and the 5-gram trucking, heading up to turn number 3.
Well, and Steve David, the way he's flying, he's almost caught the Albert Lee. Almost lapped the Albert Lee.
He's got to watch out for lap traffic.
Way outside.
Steve David coming around the exit pin for the checkered flag for the 2000. Oh, rough water, and he was bouncing off on the waves up there. Number 4, Steve David taking across the start-finish line, and the checkered flag is out. Congratulations to the old boy Oberto team. Jimmy Shane and the 5-gram trucking comes in second place. Up at the other end of the course, the battle still continues out on the river as Jon Zimmerman is working on that third place finish. Looking inside, Mark Evans is battling. Zimmerman puts it down hard. He's going to come across in third place, followed by Evans and then the Spirit of Qatar.
Peterson May just coming into turn number 3 right now. Will be a distant 6th, and then the Albert Lee, of course, once it makes its way around, will finish 7th.
A fantastic final for Steve David, and after what we believe was a penalty on Kip Brown, jumped around him at the top end of the course. Now,
The penalty on the 95 was for early on the score-up buoy.
right.
So a 1-lap penalty.
Lane 1 again was the key.
Yeah, the inside lane, and that is, just like we talked about earlier, didn't really feel that evenly matched the 5-gram trucking and the Royal Berto were, that Steve David could hold off Jimmy Shane in lane number 2 if Shane had lane number 1.
Well, Steve David just kept his boat running the whole time, and he timed it perfect when he got down towards turn 1 to have the speed. The other guys trying to go up on plane, and he just shot by him, and he got down the back straightaway. He got lane 1, and did a great job of outfoxing everybody, and just driving that old boy Oberto beautiful red green boat to victory. And great job by Steve David.
And Mark Evans, what a strong finish for him, but Jon Zimmerman able to hold him off in the 9. Fox Plumbing presents Team Red Dot.